Okay, here's the standard computer power supply. You can see we have a plus 3 volts and a plus 5 volts of 20 amps and 2 amps, that's orange and purple. You also see we have a plus and a minus 5 volt, 30 amp and a half amp, that's going to be red and white. White for the lower amperage and the minus 5 volts. And we have a plus and minus 12 volt. The first one, the plus, is going to be yellow, and the other one's going to be blue, and 15 amps and a half amp, sorry. We've got our multimeter. We've got ground and green shorted to force it to power on. And got my multimeter connected to ground, which is, by the way, chassis ground and these black wire grounds, they're the same thing. Also, all red wires are actually bundled together and soldered to the same solder trace, so it's pretty much parallel. So we are going to take measurements to confirm any issues here. We've got a multimeter and everything. The supposed problem here is that we're not getting a 3 volt rail, or a 3.3 volt rail, and apparently without that the computer won't start up due to the lack of RAM, or that won't power the RAM. Although the computer was working, then all of a sudden it died after I upgraded the RAM. You have to put in the RAM modules wicked hard, and my suspect is perhaps the logic board failed due to excessive force. Let's find out. So I have it jumpered, turn it on, fan spins up. Alright, taking a look at the cabling here, you can see a lot. Just get the exact pinout off Wikipedia. I'm too busy here. That's the top. We're going to do the bottom row first, or well, maybe we should do the top row first. Okay, that is a 3.4 volt connection. Probably should really be 3.3, but it might be a little higher for whatever reason. We have negative 11 volts. We have ground. We have power on and ground. Another ground. Another ground. Nothing. .1 volts, or let's just say 5 volts, plus 5 volts. We have 5 volts as well. Down here, we've got 3.4 volts, that's orange, so it tells us our RAM should be working. And we tried different RAM modules, so it's got to be the board then. 3.4 volts, so another orange. Ground. 5 volts. Should be ground, yep, that's ground. Should have another 5 volts. I have no idea what this one is. Ground, apparently. 5 volts. 5 volts. 11 volts. Yep, the way everything's wired, it's actually looking like we do have a problem with the board of the computer, not the power supply. So that's how you do it. Again, you want to make sure you have a common ground. See, everything is measured in reference to ground on this anyway, so that's why we do that. Now, I noticed it said, it was funny because it said the white would be negative 5 volts, and I noticed there are no white wires, so that's why we weren't getting any negative 5 volts. But that confirms this power supply is good and that the computer is bad. So, thanks for watching.